Hey, before I get into the section on juice fasting for health, I wanted to let you know that on Sunday the 30th of June, I'll be doing a meet and greet at the Temescal Farmers Market. It's at the DMV in Temescal in Oakland, and I'm going to be doing a meet and greet at 12 p.m. The juice company that I've been consulting with over the last few months, it's actually Sophia's dad who was inspired. He works the farmers markets and he was really inspired by the Life Regenerator. And so he wanted to get more involved in the juicing and raw foods, so he just decided to start a juicing business. So I am definitely doing everything I can to support them. So what I thought I would do is do a meet and greet on Sunday, their opening day, the day that they're going to launch their juicing company, Beet Generation. So if you want to come out to the meet and greet, which will be somewhere around the farmers market, so you'll have to keep your eyes peeled. We're going to gather at noon at the Beet Generation juice bar, and at noon we're going to go off. We'll find a spot somewhere. So if you don't see us right away or you're a little late, just look around, look for the group, and you'll find us, and I'll do a little talk on juicing. And I look forward to meeting some people from the Bay Area. So come on out, Temescal Farmers Market on Sunday the 30th at 12 noon. I'll be helping to make juice at the market there. And the price of admission for the meet and greet, here we go, is actually all you have to do is buy a juice from Beet Generation. I really want to support them. Sophia's going to be there. She's helping run the juice bar, and they've got some great recipes. So come on out and order a nice one of their awesome juices that I helped them to design. And then at noon we'll meet up and we'll head off somewhere and we'll go do a meet and greet. I look forward to connecting with you and sharing some insights into juicing. Okay, so I'll see you there. If there's any questions about that, just post down below. It's pretty simple to find the Temescal Farmers Market. If there's any questions, post them down below and I'll answer them. And if there are any questions and someone already has the answer, I always appreciate anybody's help anytime in the comments section. Thank you very much. And so I can share some insights into the juicing. And right now I'm on day 9 or 10 of a juice fast. Basically, in fact, I can't think of any other juices that I've had except lemon ginger blast, orange juice, and cucumber juice. I've been living off those 3 juices. I think I might have had a watermelon juice somewhere in there, but mostly the lemon ginger blast. And when I can get my hands on orange juice, that's kind of my favorite, but the cucumber juice is very therapeutic. And right now, I've been juice fasting, which is really anywhere between 2 to 4 jars of juice. And I'm running off prana. It's really nice. And about every 4 or 5 days, I do 1 day on just water too. So the reason why I did this juice fast was to help me to have some emotional clearing. And it started out happening very, very rapidly. Right away. Usually it takes a little while. Generally, what I've found for most people is that between day 14 and 20 is where you start to have your emotional releases. Because usually the first 2 or 3 weeks, for most people, the physical body is getting cleansed out. You know, the colon has a lot of debris in there. And as soon as you start juicing and alkalizing and flushing the system, yeah, there's some diarrhea every once in a while. But the colon gets cleansed and the bloodstream gets cleansed and the lymphatic system gets cleansed. And then once the body gets to that phase where it's not focusing so much on metabolic debris, then it kicks over into more of into the emotional and mental states. It's a pretty interesting phenomenon. I've done several juice feasts, fasts, and so I've had quite a bit of experience. It's my #1 way of It's my number one way of, that's Marcia, by the way, still, of supporting people, because what I've found is that a lot of people are in pain, a lot of people are overweight, and a lot of people have disease conditions. And one thing that's not safe for me to recommend generally is water fasting, because most people, they're so backed up, clogged up, so many medications and drugs and stress, that it would be unwise for me to tell anyone to go on a water fast. So I leave that aside, leave that to myself. You know, if you want to take 1 or 2 or 3 days and just drink water, that's one thing. Anything more than that for the average person, you're going to want to, get somebody who knows about the pros and cons of water fasting, which is the ultimate. Water fasting is where the rubber meets the road, baby. But a safe, effective way to improve the quality of your life, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, is the liquid diet. Because, according to Hilton Hotima, who's one of my favorite, most inspirational writers of all time, I just love the guy. He's no bull crap, just tells it like it is from his perspective, and I really like that. And I respect his views on many things. But, according to Hilton Hotima, anyways, in one of his books, breatharian at the top, where you just live off pure prana. Then you've got liquidarianism. This is not recommended breatharianism in the modern world. You can get there, but it's going to take you a lot of work, and it's not even really, necessary anymore. But you can go for that if you want. I don't recommend it, In other words, I'm saying I'm covering my butt here. I go for many days at a time without eating anything or drinking anything, and I really, really enjoy it. But I'm not promoting that for anybody. I am an extremist, and I really, really enjoy that a lot. I like myself. I like the way I am. I don't really have any interest in what other people think of me, because this is my own intuitive process, and I'm not really interested in what anyone else's perspective is or perception on my own intuitive process. That would be like me telling, I'm not going to listen to God, I'm going to listen to some other raw food teacher who thinks he knows what's best for me, as I tap in each morning and listen to the direction I'm supposed to take. Anyways, follow your own self. Have enough courage and faith to do that. Anyways, breatharianism at the top, then liquidarianism right below that. It's a beautiful thing. Then you've got the fruitarianism, then you've got the vegetarianism, and then you've got the carnivorism at the bottom. No offense to everybody who wants to eat meat, but personally I don't see how you can think that vibrational, electromagnetic health can come from the flesh of a dead corpse. I just like to say it like I see it, because I really feel, I'm not super, militant about what anybody eats, but I'm just saying, like, for the people who are interested in what my perspective is on using, minerals, enzymes, and structured water to really turn their body into a superconductor of divine energy. In other words, using these high vibrational frequencies in the fruits and the herbs, and particularly the minerals, which are frequencies of light. And it's the easily absorbable minerals in the juices that allow the cells to function, because each organ, gland, tissue, and cell has its own affinity to different types of minerals at different frequencies. And that's why a nice broad spectrum raw living foods diet throughout the year can be very beneficial. I've been 100% raw for maybe 3 months now, and before that it was 98%, but I can guarantee you the 12 and a half years of 98%, and there's a big difference between 98% and 100% for me personally, because once I went 100, that's when the shiznit had hit the fizz-an, because it's like you don't get to go into that place where what you do is you use the cooked food to sedate. It's like a drug. In other words, you're sitting there, you would eat cooked food because you're tripping, but what you do is you learn to sit through those emotions. You learn to sit through that pain. You learn to sit there with the pain until you're like, okay, I don't even care that there's pain. You stop resisting the pain. And once you stop resisting the pain, like, I gotta make this pain go away, I gotta make this pain go away, I gotta make the emotional pain go away, I gotta make this headache go away, I gotta make these knee joint pains go away. It just makes it worse and worse and worse because you're in this state of resistance, which actually is a lower vibrational frequency, and that's not your true self. So your true self is up here saying, oh, there's pain there. I'm not the pain. You don't even need to label it as pain. Really, it's a sensation. So what you're doing is you're no longer resisting sensations. And then what's interesting is I think that you'll find if you can truly sit with those sensations, whatever they are, emotional, physical, mental, or spiritual sensations, you'll find out that you'll be able to disappear them. It's called disappearing. It's an old spiritual technique. So anyways, the minerals and the frequencies of light that are involved in the Never Stops Calling are really going to help to open you up, because you're on the juice and you're bringing in those frequencies of light in the juices, in the fruits, the ripe fruits and the leafy green herbs, and those are high frequency mineral rich foods with angstrom sized minerals. We're not talking about like minerals in a pill at the store that's actually so inorganic that if you'll probably just poop the pill out. But more the worst case scenario is that the calcium is so in such a large sized form that it actually gets trapped. You're trying to make your joints better, but what you're doing with all those calcium supplements is actually making your joints worse. That's why I really love, if you're going to use supplementation, at least use whole food supplements, you know. But the best way to go, in my opinion, I was talking to a lady this morning, and I just present best case scenario and I simplify, because I know people are going to digress anyways, but I always say, hey, here's what it is for you. Fruits and juices. You want to lose weight? Fruits and juices. You want to get rid of diseases? Fruits and juices. You want to heal up emotional pain and start to cleanse and heal your emotional states? Fruits and juices. Because those frequencies are you're going to just expand and expand and expand. And those things that have been unconsciously buried in your experience they're going to become up. You're going to no longer be able to avoid them anymore through the process of juicing and cleansing and healing and awareness. You're going to get so electrified and energized by the raw foods in the forms of the whole fruits and the juices that these lower frequencies of energy are they have to break loose. They have to break loose out of the aura, because the minerals and the living liquids are creating such a fire of the fire of life within your being at such a high level, at such a high vibration, that those lower vibrational frequencies, they have to come up to be surfaced. This is when we turn back to drugs. This is when we turn back to cooked foods. This is when we turn back to all of our vices: coffee, candy bars, donuts, sex, porn, even just Facebook, you know, or just any of that stuff that just keeps you distracted. When you get to that point, that's when you know you're doing it right. Is it unpleasant dealing with some of your buried emotions? Yeah, and usually, you know what that they all stem from, in my experience so far, the way I'm seeing it, is just fear. Fear of something. I've been going through fears, they're so subtle, but it's there. And when I started on this emotional healing work, which is juicing, it's it's meditation for 2 to 3 hours a day, a formal seated meditation, of course, and then the yoga, which coincidentally the yoga this morning was absolutely incredible. The mental focus that I had and the ability to go further in the poses was better than it's ever been before in my life. So this morning's yoga for me was profound. The meditation was just pretty much average. But there's these other meditations that I'm doing where I just lay in the bed and I just let the light heal me. I just let it do its own thing. I get out of the way and I quit trying and I just let go, let go. I'm so like, I'm a big rock on my bed. And I can see the light in my brain and in my heart flowing through my body. It's like my brain and my heart are communicating with each other, and it's just unraveling old traumas and fears. And, you know, I can see so clearly the fear that's there. And I'm okay with it. I have nothing to, you know, a lot of people, like on YouTube or people everywhere, they're afraid, but you'll never see them admit it. They'll put up this puffed up thing so big that you think that they can just walk through a brick wall. But you know what? That's nothing but just layers and layers and layers of stacked up, you know, just defense mechanism, overconfidence. When you really get down to it, you just really get humbleized, you know? And you can just admit that you have fears, because everyone's not stupid. A lot of times we all think everybody's stupid. Nobody's stupid. They can see. And other people can see different kinds of things, you know? They can see you in themselves. They can see themselves in you. Anyways, you know, it's my experience, and it always has been my belief. But it was my belief for a long time. Now it's my experience. You can heal yourself. Today, I'm more free emotionally than I've ever been in my life. You know, I'm really developing a relationship with myself. And I can see the impermanence of everything. And I can see that I'm afraid for things to change. But that's ridiculous. So I'm opening up my heart. And what that's done for me is it allows me to be right in the present moment, appreciating so much every little thing that's in my life. One day this drum set will be gone. One day this house will be gone. One day I'll be gone. One day the Toyota will be gone. Everything will change. I'll have a different car. I'll have a different drum set. You know, or not. I have my health today. It could go away at any time. Anything could happen. You know? You really got to appreciate what you got. And that's what will happen in this emotional state, because when we're afraid of loss, we tend to cling, you know? And then we lose that freedom to be present, you know, in each moment, where we can really connect and have true intimacy, which is the greatest thing ever. Now, I've had some of the most amazing and profound shifts in the last couple weeks. Like, I'm almost willing to say that I'm a man now, you know, because I can see the importance of the details, the small, tiny, little things that we should all appreciate. So what does this have to do with juice fasting? Well, I just went on a juice fast, and that was about 9 or 10 days ago. I can't remember. I'll have to ask Ken. I always ask Ken. How many days, Ken? But I'm going to keep going every single time that I drink a juice. It has nothing to do with energy, calories, or anything. It has, if anything, on that level, it has to do with the minerals. And on the other level, it has to do with the water, just staying hydrated. And then I need, you know, I can even just water fast and keep going, you know. I've been busy. I can just go on water and still get a lot done because my body's very clean, so I just run off the oxygen. But anyways, I just keep drinking the juice, because each time that I drink the juice, all I do is think that I'm just cleansing my heart. Cleansing my heart. So this one is a juice fast for emotional cleansing, emotional healing. And a more simple way to say that is the relinquishment of fear, so that the divine love can take its place in my heart. We'll finish this one up eat for a while, pump up a bit, build up, stretch out, go out, have some fun, get goofy, get pumped up, whatever, eat some bee pollen, eat some avocados, eat some soaked nuts and seeds, some coconut almond yogurt, work out at the gym, build up a little bit, and then after that, boom. Next step, mental, juice fasting for mental clarity. Ding, 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 ding. Come in, live my life. I am the puppet. You are the puppet master. And then after that, I will pump up again, build up again, strengthen out, stretching out, have some fun, take care of my business, and then when I have another stretch of time, you bet, I'm going for the spiritual fast. So it's going to be what we did here was we spent many, many years on the physical detox. Now we're working on the emotional detox. Then we'll go for the mental clarity, where the fire of life burns bright in my quiet mind. And it's just pure awareness. And then, after that, spiritual clarity. So that's what I'm talking about with the juicing. You know I could go on for hours and hours about juicing, so you know what to do. And personally, the more simple the juices are, the better. The more mental clarity. The lemon ginger blast is the most complicated one. After that, it's just mono juices. Cucumber, orange are my favorite. And the lemon ginger blast, but I love me some celery juice, or I might do like apple and celery. Carrot, apple, ginger is good. There's a million juices. It doesn't matter, but you want to go intuitively, and what you're doing is you're just flushing the acid wastes out of your body. You're facing your emotions. You're cleansing your system. You're cleansing your colon, which has debris in there. You're sort of purifying the nerves. You're cleansing the acupuncture meridian system so that the energy flows. The yoga is helpful with that. The breath work is helpful with that. Some physical exercise. I've even been able to do as much physical exercise as I want. Go to the gym still, even on a juice fast, but very moderate. So not trying to pump up, just trying to really enjoy life, but also spend as much time as possible in those meditation positions on my bed, letting the light of life just heal me, regenerate me, and sometimes it's very unpleasant. But that's only because of a perception. But really it's like, now I'm getting to the point where it's like, this is really uncomfortable. This is cool. This is like a release, And I had to sit with the dread fear for many days straight, like drop dead death fear. And I was so aware. I was just dead afraid, living in fear, like terror. And I kept going with the YouTube videos as much as I could and stuff. But anyways, before I couldn't handle that level of fear, because it came up before in the last water fast, the 14-day water fast, and the doctor said, dude, you got to eat something. Because he saw me. I was like this. I was freaking out, dude. I was just so afraid, and my nervous system was not as good as it is now. I've been doing a lot of healing work on my nervous system through this raw foods, purification. And so I'm stronger now. I can just sit there with the fear, the dread fear, and there's nowhere for me to run because I'm not going to eat cooked foods. I'm not going to do anything. I don't have any other habits. I turned off the violence on TV. I got into the Game of Thrones, and after the dudes getting their hands cut off and heads cut off, I had done some cleansing and healing work, some emotional freedom technique tapping, and I just really purified my system. And then I came home that night, and I spent a couple of days doing that. And then I came home the next day, and I put in the Game of Thrones, the violence, and I was so sensitive to it, I closed that computer, and I've never opened it since. I'm kind of curious as to what happens, but not worth it, not worth the violence. I've called off the violence as an escape to feed my pain body. So now that I've called off the violence, I'm dealing with the pain here instead of feeding it with more violence and fear and aggression and death. It's coming out. Instead of feeding it and burying it in deeper, and it's almost like the violence and the fear is it's a comfort zone for you when you're observing it outside of yourself. That's why probably people like boxing and fighting and all that. But as soon as you are ready to purify yourself and release all that so that you can be a superconductor of God's divine love, then you just put all that away and you get ready for the real purification process. And you allow whatever arises to arise. And I'm on the accelerated path. I just can see that in my own experience. If I could have more time with you, I would tell you all the amazing things that have happened. But I've woke up to the details. And I will not be neglecting my partner's subtle cues anymore in some male phase of just so focused on whatever, thinking that by just making money and stuff like that, that I'm doing everything that she needs, you know. But no, it's like, dude, wake up, man. You don't sleepwalk through life, gentlemen. That's my advice, because you don't want to do that, man. The most precious thing ever could, you know. Anyways, pay attention to the little stuff. And me and my ex-wife, dude, were like, I couldn't believe it. I mean, my ex-wife is a super wise person. And I was just so like resistant, you know, and then I had all this crap that's going on, and then all this release. It's just like I'm able to connect with my ex-wife. I'm able to see my kids and listen to them, and they're full of wisdom. So a lot of changes, you know. So now I'm going to be able to be more humble instead of having all the answers as some kind of defense mechanism or whatever. I don't know. It goes on and on, my friend, but I don't know why I make these videos. I don't know why they turn out like this. It doesn't really matter, does it? Because it's none of my business. I'm just here, like I said, I'm the puppet. Okay? And if you need something through this video, I enjoy this process quite a bit. And I am going to continue pressing on with my commitment and my intention to be unconditional love. And I will tell you right now, I thought in the beginning it was challenging. Oh no, because we're getting out. Now I see we're working on some of the more deeper, subtle, final phases. And one day I'll be fortunate enough if I ever get to face the fear of death through my meditations and whatnot. And then we can even, once we bust through that, see you later, you're going into the Peaceville, because that's where they all stem from. That's where all the fears stem from. And then my story will end. And that will suck, you know? Because nobody wants their story to end. Nobody wants the melodrama of our lives. Even if it's really crappy and you're not enjoying it, it's still your story. It's still your melodrama, and we are definitely super emotionally involved in this movie. And that's okay. We can get as emotionally involved in the movie of our lives as we want, or we can see that there's those times where we can rise up a little higher and just observe the whole thing from a more expanded viewpoint. So I kind of vacillate between the two because it's just kind of fun. But I'm really trying to observe the Dan, and to, you know, as a Dan, as a personal person, I say, purify me, you know, and make me wholesome and pure. Because personally, like, one thing I see is that, Dan, you're crazy, you got to stop cleansing all the time. And I'm like, are you perfectly pure? So you're saying you can't purify your heart anymore? You can't purify your mind anymore? Well, then you must be Jesus. And I need to come to your ashram and bow down to you. But you're not Jesus. So therefore, maybe you do have room for improvement of the purification of the love in your heart and the laser-like focus of your mind to be able to be, your mind could be so powerful, and you could have so much faith and belief and control over the vibrational frequencies of this organism that you live in, that you could literally walk on water. Scientists can't tell me why it can't be done. See what I'm saying? They don't know why it can't. They don't know how to prove that it can't be done. It's just that just because nobody can do it doesn't mean it can't be done. It's just that nobody has enough faith in their own power. That's why we purify the heart, we purify the mind. The heart becomes pure love, the mind becomes pure faith. Instantaneous manifestation, and then you're just total and complete wholeness. So I'm going to press ahead with this juicing and raw foods and just continue on with this process of purification that I started 13 some odd years ago, and I'm enjoying every step of the way. So I look forward to seeing you at the Oakland Farmers Market, Temescal, DMV at 12 noon. We will convene at the juice bar, the Beat Generation Juice Bar. So be there at 12, and then if you show up late, then just find us. We'll be sitting somewhere around the farmers market. Okay? Thanks.